Well, hey, happy Friday. Been in South Carolina all week buying a house, so just got back. And I think you want to see a video of me in the nice, warm South Carolina. Make y'all jealous. I can't get out of this parking lot, you know why? Because people are a bunch of rejected idiots that can't drive and are rude as hell. Anyway, I wanted to bring out a point that I am so sick and tired of seeing every time I travel this country, is the amount of foreign imported vehicles. I don't care if they make them in Ohio or anything. If the branding on that vehicle says Honda, Hyundai, Toyota, then we are buying foreign cars, Kia. You know, and it's nice that in the north that there are more American vehicles than there are in the outskirts, south and California. Oh, California is really bad. Obviously, Michigan, we buy the majority of our vehicles. 75% of the vehicles in the state of Michigan are from the big three. Those are American car companies. Tesla's an American car company. But we're just talking about the big three itself. The companies of the big three, which I don't even want to call Stellantis a big three company anymore, because it's an Italian company. It is no longer Chrysler Corporation the way it was since it was founded. It is now in the hands of a foreign company. It was before with Fiat and all this crap. And, you know, so we'll just talk about, we'll throw Stellantis, which is Chrysler, into the mix. But the amount of vehicles in Michigan is 75% are all from the big three. We're not going to say, I bought a Kia and it was made in America. That isn't an American car. When you buy an American car like they used to, when our country was strong and thriving, everybody owned a domestically made vehicle from the big three, it seemed. It was very rare that you would see a Toyota or a Nissan or anything driving around the streets. Those were like rarities. Now, 45% of the entire nation buys American cars. 45%, meaning 55% are driving cars that when they make a purchase on the vehicle, the money goes back to the country of origin. I don't care. I don't want to hear, oh, well, they have factories here. Those are not American cars. So you can have factories all you want. So you're helping Americans who are working in the factories pay their bills. But you're not helping your country at all. It's a very horrible look. When I just went to South Carolina, they have more domestic cars in South Carolina than most southern states. But when you drive around, it's like Kia on top of Kia, on top of Honda, on top of Hyundai, on top of Subaru. And it's like, no wonder why Americans are struggling, because other Americans are not buying the products that are made in America, and they're not buying the products that put the car industry on the map. American cars are so well made. I don't understand the problem. So does it come down to someone's cheap ass just wants to buy something cheaply made like a Kia and they can get financed through it? Or do people deliberately go out of their way and not buy a Chevy, which is badass looking cars, they're really well made? Or is it just, you know, let's go out and buy a Honda? Because I used to buy Hondas when I was a kid. It was called the Honda Spree. And my buddy had a Honda Elite, and people have Honda lawnmowers. So I don't see a Chevy lawnmower, a Ford lawnmower, or a Chrysler lawnmower. So I don't see I see a Mitsubishi TV, and then there's a Mitsubishi car. Something not right there, right? Do you have a General Motors computer, or a Ford computer, or a Chrysler computer? No, you do not. Not a television, no. So where have we gone wrong? You need to ask yourself that. Why did you consciously purchase a Hyundai? Why did you consciously purchase a Honda? You have to ask yourself that, because honestly, you are an American, right? So you decided, I'm going to buy a Japanese car. I'm going to buy a German car. I'm going to buy a Korean car. An English car. Do you see them driving your cars around? They don't want our cars over there. The whole goal was to strategically make the United States weak in its strongest industry, and it's working, because the car industry was our strongest industry. So what we have done as consumers is we have allowed these foreign countries to strip us of our power, to strip us of what made our nation strong. Our economy was freaking booming from our cars. Just our cars alone brought in so much money from our own consumers. But now those consumers have gone woke, have gone liberal over the last 3 decades, and decided that what was funny once when you saw someone driving a little Japanese car down the street, you'd call like a little rice burner or whatever. And now, those same people that laughed are driving those exact same rice burners. Did you know Toyota has surpassed Stellantis as a number 3 car company in the United States? Toyota. And you say, oh, they make them in America. I don't care. That is not an American car. It doesn't have an American brand. It does not serve the people of America at all, other than the people in those factories that need to put milk on the table and bread on the table. You're not helping your country. You might be helping Joe Schmo that works in Ohio and the 2,000 people that work in that plant. But as far as it comes to the millions of people in America, our brands are going away because you're buying cheap Chinese and Japanese products on purpose. You're consciously making the decision to bypass an American brand to buy a cheaper product. You're buying cars. They're not even good looking. I'm sorry, they're not. I pull my Cadillac up to next to that BMW X5. My Cadillac XT5 looks so much nicer. I almost bought a BMW too, because I kind of do like German cars, but I'm an American soldier, so I can't do it. My dad worked for Ford. He raised us. This whole region I live in here in Michigan all made cars to put under your asses in this country for decades. And you drove around in those cars. They busted their asses and died in those factories making for you. And now what you have done in this country is you've turned a blind eye to your own people and decided you wanted to buy these foreign jobs. You want to be in these foreign looking cars. This is not normal. This is the decline of a society when the society itself can't even patronize its own nation. It tells you the loyalty of America has shifted to an unloyal country. You have no loyalties. You're loyal to yourself. You're not loyal to a nation. That's what separates soldiers from citizens. Soldiers are dedicated to their nation. Citizens fluctuate. Citizens are hot and cold. Most people that are true patriots don't purchase anything majorly made in other countries. You can't avoid brands in store shelves because, you're going to end up getting certain things and certain products and your kids want toys. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is major purchases. You make a major purchase like a vehicle purchase and you bypass your own nation for what? $30 a month more on a car payment? Are you kidding me? Really? So you're going to squabble in your brain $30 a month more if I get the Japanese car or the American car? I mean, honestly, it's no brainer. I don't care if it's $100 more. I want the American car because I'm an American and I want to support America. So in a nation where the confusion rate is higher than the conscious rate of intelligence, we are in trouble. So for all you that keep buying these foreign jobs, I want you to know, I don't care what your reasoning is. I don't care what your excuse is. You are screwing your own country every single time you do that. Every time. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. None. I'm sick and tired of being outnumbered by the foreign cars on the road everywhere I go, except for in Detroit, in Chicago, in these areas, right? In the Midwest, which is not even the Midwest. The Midwest is really, you got the East Coast, which is your Eastern time zone. Your Central and your Mountain time is the Midwest. Basically, I would say the Mountain time zone is your Midwest, because then you got your West. So then that means your Central time zone is your Mid-East. So this whole nomenclature crap that they've got all wrong from the beginning of when they started calling it the Midwest. Anyway, that's a different rant that I like to do. I'll rant on that later when we got the country in the proper perspective. But today is about automakers and your loyalty. None of you out there can say you're 100% loyal. I can. I've never bought anything but American cars. Never. And I'm not gonna. Why? Because I'm American. And that means something to me. So every time I drive by one of your 12 billion Hondas and your 12,000 Kias, I get sick. I'm being honest with you.
I don't mean you're a bad person. I just look at the cars and I know where the money goes. I know exactly how all that money is strengthening these countries. They were absolutely nothing until you all started buying their cars. Now you've given them an unprecedented power they have never known by funneling all that money back into them. And how do they sucker you in? Well, it's made in America. It isn't American. I don't care where it's made. It goes back to the country of origin, the money does. The money doesn't stay in our country, and our country doesn't grow from the sale of you buying that damn Subaru or you buying that Hyundai. It doesn't stay here. You are powering another country up while you're weakening your own. There's my rant for the day. Damn, people, start using your brain and become a little more American where you live. Because those countries aren't defending you in a war, are they? So you better start thinking about who's got your ass covered.